it feels the right time to do another update on my channel. So it's come to light through counselling that I have suspected complex PTSD, which makes a lot of sense. Basically, my nervous system has been pushed to the limit and learned ways to cope in this life that aren't particularly healthy. But what I realise more and more is that this has been going on for so many years. We're talking of 20 years at least, which coincides with how long I've been writing lyrics. And I've often said in the last sort of 5 years that songwriting has been like a therapy for me. I suppose you could call it a journaling exercise, a self-soothing exercise, a way to be heard and understood by myself, I suppose, more than anything. And yeah, my last video, or the one before, was mentioning about potential ADHD, and people have said autism and all sorts to me in the past, and bipolar and personality disorder, and I've had every label thrown at me under the sun. I've also had, on the other side of, you're a psychopath, you're controlling this, you're that, and yeah, I have been a bit controlling, and now I understand this potential diagnosis of complex PTSD. That is almost a symptom of it, that you learn these behaviours to try and navigate your way through life as a child, and in your teens, and then in adulthood it becomes almost impossible to navigate relationships, and things like codependency breed, and people pleasing, and yes, control, which then just gets even deeper and more hurtful, because people label you as extra things, which you're not, essentially, at the core. And I suppose that's where a lot of my songs are now making sense to me, especially things like Caught in Two Minds. It's like, the core of you is a good person, the core of you is not there to cause any harm or control anyone, but you've got this inability to actually stop. And I'm trying at the moment to really manage like people pleasing and overgiving, because to me it excites me and it makes me feel like I've got a purpose, but it's just a learned behaviour from being a child, and I hold no blame to parents, grandparents, because essentially everyone does their best with the tools they have, and essentially some people are unwell at the time that they're trying to be a parent or be a grandparent, and there's just no point in being bitter and blaming anyone, and it's only on this path of being with the Lighthouse in a therapy, healing, addiction recovery group, that a lot of this stuff's unfolded. So when I joined the group, it was I keep saying essentially, it was essentially to help me stop drinking and smoking weed and being involved in a relationship that wasn't good for me, or for him. And what's come out of that is the understanding of I've got attachment issues, which I knew anyway from years ago. And then what came from that was a deeper understanding of, where them attachment things come from. And then you peel back the onion more, and throughout it people say ADHD and complex PTSD, and then you research this and you research that, and you go, oh my God, like, this all makes so much sense. But anyway, I don't want to be negative, and I certainly don't want to play the victim, which is something that I've been accused of as well, which I suppose you could say that you sort of sometimes are a bit of a victim of things, but there's no point in getting into adulthood and holding on to that. I deserve this, I deserve that, I'm a victim, and it's your fault. It's not about that. I see, when you get to an age and an understanding, that the healing is your responsibility, and that's exactly where I am now. I am seeing the little parts of life that are joyful, and I'm surrounding myself by a tribe of women, which makes me feel a bit guilty for the men, because I feel like women have got more tribes and more accessibility and more, I don't know, I just, anyway, I'm involved more and more now with women. I'm on a bit of a 2-year ban from relationships and men and sexual activity, which I've had enough of that in my life anyway. And I'm walking more, and I've got hikes booked in with other fellow recovery people, ladies, and I'm still going to my groups weekly, and I've got counselling every 1 or 2 weeks, and I'm using some of the skills that we learn in a recovery and focus course, which taught all about photography, and that is a way of distraction from negative addictions to try and get into a positive addiction. And what I'm learning is that we have to reorganize and reprogram our brain, and it's basically called neural pathways, and it takes a long time to do it, not an unachievable amount of time if I'm still alive, but in a couple of years, what I'm hoping is that my brain is almost transformed through this hard work and dedication to this recovery and healing journey, and that I no longer seek the dark side of life, the drink, the drugs, the promiscuous nights out, the self-harming behaviours, the constant picking of the skin, the self-soothing by writing negative lyrics. I want to go into that place in life where I see the light, and I've got faith, and I've got a connection with something in me, which I know I've got because I've felt it for years during Reiki and cranial osteopathy, and I see the lights in my eyes, and there's a lot of synchronicities happening for me at the moment, and things are making more sense. And I suppose, I don't know where I'm going with this now, but I suppose the bit I want to finish with is, I just hope that people around me that are in my life, that are not in my life as well, but who I love dearly, have some form of understanding about me. But that's not important, because as long as I understand myself, that's the main important thing. But I hope that my understanding of myself helps them understand a bit of themselves. And I think the biggest thing is understanding that this journey can allow us to lift the shame and forgiveness and move forward in a way that opens up the door to a nicer life, and that's it really. I'm still doing working on chapter 11, which I'm not going to say a lot about it now, but I'm excited, and it's going to be the first chapter that is positive, that has got a sense of purpose rather than a sense of I fucking hate you, your life's shit, mental torture songs, you know, trying to figure out. It's going to be more of a supportive, nice, love light album of chapter. Yeah, chapter 10's still in the bin. It's gone. Though I might share some of the artwork and stuff that I've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years around the lyrics. But I certainly won't be putting my effort into writing individual songs to go over negative stuff, because it's just not what I want to feed myself. And yeah, just one last thing to say is that this where's my finger? There. This thing here, this light, this is happening all the time in photos with me. It's quite uncanny because look at that. It's not normal. It's I've never seen this one before with like 4 shards of light. I can even get it going up my nose, look. So there is my YouTube channel update, a 12-minute that'll do. And yeah, I hope that my journey and my story helps other people, because essentially I think at core I am an empath, I am a helper, I am a caring soul. And for years that I've questioned whether I'm doing too much of it. And anyway, I'm digressing. I love that word recently. I feel like my vocabulary is getting bigger. I'm getting into a posh land of words. Anyway, shut up, Kate. As people say to me on voice notes, I'm waffling now. And I say to them, but carry on waffling. I like you waffling. So waffle on. Goodbye.